Oh, yes. Okay. We are live. Welcome back, everybody. How's it going out there? It's Thursday. It is Thursday. We're live. This is the Crypto Report. I'm reposting this out on X for you guys. Let's get some more folks in here. We've got some news to talk about. Yesterday, during the FOMC, we listened to Fed Chair Powell open his big yapper, and the market crashed as a result of it. But the bulls came back with a vengeance, and this is something we discussed being possible. We discussed potential moves down to 100K. It's still on the table, guys. You might see things slip, but more and more people are calling for higher prices right now, saying that Ethereum could break $4,000, and it could do it fast. This is the big altcoin catalyst that we've all been waiting for. You know it. I know it. When's it gonna happen, though? This is the grand question. Well, let's talk a little bit about it in another Crypto Report update. Welcome back. Do me a favor, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me share the screen. There it is. You see it. I see it. We all see it. It's great. All right. Shout out to the chat. Shy Sox fan for life in the chat. Seth and Shootery. You got John316 and Marty. Hey. Little growth going up top. Yeah, my buzzer broke. My buzzer broke. We're deciding whether we want to bring the hair back. I don't think we do. I think we stay bald. But yeah, we've got the fuzzies. We've got some hairs coming in, so it's happening. Welcome back, guys. Looking at the charts today, let's refresh this, okay? I've got to get into a lot of this. As you're hopping in, do tap that like button for me and subscribe to the channel. Today, you've got Bitcoin sitting at 117, call it 118K, and Ethereum sitting just below 3,800. Yesterday, we had a pretty significant move to the downside. Let's look at the volatility as it played out yesterday. There it is at 118. Let's go to the hourly candles. Let's zoom in on it. Okay, let's get specific. Yesterday, these are the hourly candles. This was our FOMC meeting dip. And this is basically where we came down to during the meeting. That was our low. We had our low while Fed Chair Powell was talking. Bitcoin, while the Fed was speaking, came down essentially almost 2%, which is a pretty significant move for Bitcoin. But then from that low, we've rallied at one point this morning almost 3%. Look at all this volatility around these news stories, guys. This is why trading is fun. I think it's fun. I like to do it. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you to do it. You got to make your own decisions, guys. But if you do want to trade, you check out the affiliates in the description down below. Bing, bing, boop. You've got some trade bonuses or sign-up bonuses, excuse me. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are talking about Ethereum potentially breaking 4,000. And after we saw a little bit of a dip for Bitcoin yesterday, we had a nice recovery. Now we're kind of finding resistance throughout the day and maybe teasing if we want to come back down. Again, the warning I've had lately has been this is pretty significant looking resistance. And we're kind of looking double toppy. But hopefully we're not a double toppy. Hopefully we're an Ethereum breaky outie. All right? You like that? I bet you do. Ethereum has previously gotten to $4,900 almost. And right now we're sitting at 3,700. But we needed to break through 4,000 before it can go back to the previous highs. We rejected, broke through. Just kidding. End of the bull market. Right? End of the bull market. Ethereum goes from 4,900 all the way down to $874. And it has recovered all the way to $3,700. But now we're at resistance. Some people are saying we're going to break through here. Why are they saying it? What's the hypothesis? The Fed's not cutting rates. You can't have a risk on asset rally without the Fed cutting rates, can you? Well, let's talk a little bit more about it. Smash a like, subscribe to that channel. This one, actually, how's it going, Metul and And Double Scott's in the chat. Press secretary is about to speak live. Yeah, I know. I'm not interested. The press secretary speaks every weekday. So I used to watch those, but you want me to grow an afro? I could grow an afro. Dude, if I had an afro, that would be some kind of look, huh? Should we do a poll? Do you guys want a poll? Okay, we'll do a poll. Hair or no hair? Hair, no hair. And I'm talking about like full regrowth, not this little fuzzies that I got going on. We have a poll. It's been requested. The people have spoken. Let's see what the votes are. This is getting good. Oh, it's funny. Okay. I've got some news. We've got a couple coins up today. Pump Fund getting a little bit of a bounce. Cool. All right. We like that. That's good. Sonic's up a little. Ethan's up. Story's up. Ton's up. A couple coins are up. Nothing's up big time today. As some coins are up, we've got a couple bleeders today. Generally, there was a dip yesterday for a lot of coins. We have kind of recovered overnight from the pain that Fed Chair Powell kind of put out there. Yesterday, we did have the White House's working group release the lengthy crypto report. Not this crypto report, their crypto report. I think that's fun. And looking at some of the details in it, this digital asset report says that they will develop strategies that can be used to acquire additional Bitcoin for the reserve. Now, what's funny yesterday is everybody was talking about how there was no plans in it, but they did tease potential plans. So that's called news without news, and it's news, but it ain't that newsworthy. But we're reporting it. Develop strategies that could be used to acquire additional Bitcoin. In other words, the U.S. wants to acquire Bitcoin. We just haven't actually come up with a specific plan on how to do so. Or maybe, perhaps, they just aren't disclosing that. Trump crypto official Bo Hines ducked a question about the U.S. Bitcoin reserve, and he says, I can't say. He's on the Crypto Council, I think. I don't know what it's called. The board of crypto folks that the president appointed for the pro-crypto agenda set forth by the White House. But no, they're not discussing the specifics as to how they intend on actually buying this Bitcoin or how many Bitcoin they would buy if they did. Okay, we don't know. But we did get this put out. Here's what they got going on. The reserve and the stockpile will be capitalized by fortified digital assets. In other words, digital assets owned by the U.S. government. However, fortified digital assets need to satisfy statutory objectives and will continue to be used for those objectives, including compensate identifiable and verifiable victims of crimes, to support law enforcement operations, to be equitably shared with state and local law enforcement partners. There's a lot going on in this, guy. So this leaves a lot more questions, to be honest with you. The Bitcoin in the reserve will generally not be sold and will be maintained as a reserve of the United States. The Bitcoin in the reserve will generally not be sold unless we dump it all. Then generally, sometimes, not generally, but generally speaking, I'm not planning on selling it, but it's possible that I would. But generally speaking, we're not planning on it, So just generally, that's, okay. Treasury and Commerce will develop strategies that can be used to acquire additional Bitcoin for the reserve in ways that are budget neutral and do not impose incremental costs in the United States. There's nothing new going on here. Well, they're excited that they talked about their executive order. Yeah. Not a lot going on there. So it was kind of a non-news thing. That could have been a catalyst that drove us for Ethereum past $4,000. Well, then why are you talking about $4,000 Ethereum? Crypto Kip. Almost said my name. Almost said my real name. Almost said my first name. I was close. But I'm keeping my, my social media name. Yeah. So why are you talking about a 4K Ethereum crypto kip if you think that this is lame and if you're not bullish on Fed rate cuts, because the Fed came out yesterday and said, there's not going to be rate cuts, right? Looking at some of the, and I'm going to get to that. There's a reason here. Microsoft stock reported great earnings. Key Fed inflation gauge shows price increases accelerate. So again, the inflation problem is not necessarily going away. Inflation's been getting better, but Fed still is scared to cut rates. We watched that live yesterday because he's scared of inflation because of tariffs, and that hasn't ended. President is still defending his tariffs, though we've still got pending tariffs, and that's leaving the Fed touching his glasses, being uncertain. How could I be a bull on 4K ETH? Well, we see a lot of volatility in these markets, guys. You see long squeezes. You see short squeezes sometimes. There's a chance that we get a short squeeze and we get a boost up. But besides that, historically speaking, if you look at the data, Q4 is the best time ever for crypto, historically. If the median price gain is 50% gains in Q4, look at this, 7% in Q2. Just look at these numbers. Q4 is coming up. Q4 is supposed to be into the bull market. The bull market's supposed to peak out sometime around October. That could go October, November. It could go October, November, December. August and September are historically bearish, but we think that we're going to have a Fed rate cut sometime in September, maybe by October. It's possible. Let's actually look. I didn't check this out. Give me 1 second. I should have done this. I should have pulled this up. I want to see how the odds shifted after the FOMC meeting yesterday. Because now our next FOMC meeting is coming up. September. Oh my goodness. Look at this. And now we've got a 60% chance. Look at how those odds flipped after the FOMC yesterday. Now there's a 60% chance we're not going to get a rate cut. That's not that great. And a 37% chance that we don't get a rate cut in October. Oh my goodness. The Fed was hawkish yesterday, guys. Wow. So now we're probably not getting a rate cut in September. How can you be bullish on Ethereum crypto kip? Well, again, historically, October, November, December are bullish months. There is still a chance of a rate cut in October. But I feel like we've been saying this all year. And now I feel like a broken record. And that's not my fault. That's Fed Chair's fault. That's the data fault. That is the president's fault with tariffs. That is politics. That is the news. That's why you've got to stay in tune with the news, guys. That's why you need to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell, because the news changes all the time and we'll continue to update it. But it's looking pretty grim for rate cuts this year in general, because it seems like the odds keep moving back. They keep moving the goalpost. And we don't like to see that. How could we possibly have a bullish end of the year? Well, historically speaking, October is the best time ever. And that's only 3 months away. It's coming. And that's also supposed to be the peak of this bull market if we have these 4-year cycles kind of in any way that we've seen them before. If you want to trade the volatility of these markets, check out Blowfin, check out Bit10x. I got sign-up links in the description of this video down below. There are sign-up bonuses for you guys there as well as some other things. If you want to check those out, do so if you haven't done so already, as one way to support the channel. You can trade here. You can do copy trading. You can do futures trading. You can do spot trading. You can do demo trading. You can do all the kinds of trading that you want to do. I like Blowfin a lot. I like Bit10x as well. These are affiliates. If you want to support the channel and take advantage of some free money with these sign-up bonuses they have. But we do need to hang on to this. Guys, for crypto overall, this is a very positive time. The fact that we do have this crypto executive saying they're not disclosing that, but they have used language to talk about potentially acquiring more Bitcoin, it leaves room for excitement, because if the U.S. really does start buying Bitcoin, the $1 million Bitcoin dream could quickly become a reality, and Ethereum will roar as well. Textbook late cycle behavior. I want to talk about this story. Bitcoin range bound as markets ignore good news in textbook late market behavior. Okay. QCB Capital said the muted price response to positive headline signaled potential late cycle behavior. Analysts warned that short squeeze in the US dollar and excessive leverage in altcoins could trigger broader market volatility. Talking about how it's stuck. New highs remain a strong possibility over the medium term. Still, Bitcoin's failure to visit its all-time high above 122,000 witnessed earlier this month flies in the face of continued institutional inflows and favorable regulatory developments. It is shocking that we aren't just exploding right now. It's very shocking that we're not exploding right now. And so this analyst, QCP, is saying caution is warranted. It's what I've been warning for, too. We're looking at a potential double top warning, and you got to be aware of it. Short-term exhaustion in a mid-price, barely treading water. I mean, we're hanging in, but it's looking tired. It is looking tired. The crypto market is at a critical juncture, says Bitfinex analysts. Vulnerable to sharp deleveraging events. Overcrowded positioning in the US dollar and USD JPY shorts. This week's rally in the dollar is highly unusual. So the dollar's rallying right now. That could mean weakness for crypto. Classic short squeeze that happens when positioning gets out of whack with reality. Short squeeze for the dollar. He expects the recent move to end the lazy dollar's bearish narratives. Catalyst in the form of the President Working Group on Digital Assets may offer clear guidance for the industry following its exhaustive 160-page report on Wednesday. It didn't. So everybody's looking for this report to come out and just break new light on the industry, and it didn't. Now we're coming up a little bit today after a dip from the Fed. So the market's holding decently strong right now, but it ain't some kind of roaring market. And I'm going to take a lot of the questions. I see some questions in the chat. We'll get to the questions. But this is a real conversation, late cycle behavior. Some people are saying we're just getting started. The reality of the situation is we are not just getting started. Okay, we might just be getting started in that big last leg up, but we've been in this bull market since the lows. We've been in the bull market for 966 days. A bull market from the lows to the highs historically only lasts about 1,060 days. So yes, about 100 days left. So if Ethereum is going to break through $4,000, it better do it soon, right? That's what I'd say. And we better see Bitcoin dominance top out soon so we get an altcoin season, right? That's what I'd say. Our total market cap is breaking out. This is a breakout. This is good. All right? Why am I talking about a $4,000 Ethereum then? Well, corporate treasury holdings topped $100 billion as Ether buying accelerates. The institutions are buying Ethereum. This is very similar to the run-up that we saw for Bitcoin when institutions were buying Bitcoin. This is very similar. It's a very similar thing, very similar time. How's it going? Clear as beef. How you doing? And we continue to see them buying. It's unbelievable the amount of inflows that are coming in. These are Ethereum flows in the millions. Big inflows. Day after day, hundreds of millions of dollars pouring into these Ethereum ETFs. Net Ether, yeah, I mean, just look at this. These ETFs are absolutely exploding right now. Cryptocurrency treasury companies become global phenomenon. No doubt. Now, we're going to see some interesting news come out, and Michael Saylor's hyped. I'm going to come back to that one. Michael Saylor's hyped. Michael Saylor says their earnings call today, because, again, they got this huge Bitcoin treasury, this corporate Bitcoin treasury company. Michael Saylor says their earnings call today will be the most important event in the history of strategy. The amount of profit that they're making as a company because of their Bitcoin holdings are probably incredible. And their stock is probably going to just boom because of it. Actually, MSTR, I'm going to see if it came out. I don't even know if it did. Top analyst warns on MicroStrategy results. Yeah, so we haven't had it yet. We haven't had it yet. But yeah, it does look like MicroStrategy is up a little bit today. It's expected to report its earnings today for the second quarter after market hours today. Okay. The largest corporate holder of Bitcoin, the company's Bitcoin stack is 628,000 coins, worth 74 billion. That's unbelievable. They expect the Bitcoin treasury firm to report 112 million in Q2 revenue, hoping for a 0.64% rise year over year. Zach's expected strategy earnings per share to record a loss of 12 cents per share. There are several factors, such as the Donald Trump administration's announcement. Makes the MicroStrategy stock a risky bet. Michael Saylor's pumped about it. Analysts are skeptical. I mean, the problem that MicroStrategy stock is going to have right now, more so than anything with the earnings, is just the fact that Bitcoin's a little double toppy. Okay. Again, if Ethereum can break through, and let's get to the reason why it's very possible that Ethereum could, this is one of them. Corporate treasuries are going wild buying ETH, just like they did for Bitcoin over the last few years. But I want to talk about this story right here. So one of the most bearish people against altcoins, Benjamin Cowan in the crypto space, has officially come out and said he expects Ethereum to go to new highs, like now. Super complex technical analysis for Ethereum. This is his charts looking at his Ethereum price goes home. It went home. Here, it bounced off of what? 1500, whatever it was. It did it. And then it bounced. And now it is up here at the 4K level of resistance. That should break 4K since it went home. Somebody asked, well, what if it needs to go deeper home before it breaks 4K? Benjamin Cowan says, my guess is the next time it goes back home will be after it goes to new all-time highs. So he just said it's going to go to new all-time highs before it crashes again. That's what Benjamin Cowan believes. Now, who the heck is this guy? 1 million followers. He's been in the crypto space a long time. He's got a really great channel where he's very, very in the numbers and in the weeds with technical analysis and averages and data. He's the data guy. And for him to come out and say that he expects Ethereum to break new highs is very, very interesting. The risk I see is the fact that we're not getting the rate cuts, the fact that Bitcoin's at resistance. We had a double top last cycle. Could it happen again? But also, we've still got 100 days left in this bull market. Maybe we're going to have 100 days of glory coming up very soon, despite August and September historically being, that's 60 days right there, and we're coming up on those 60 days now. Maybe we go October, November, December. Maybe we go into 2026 and the 4-year cycles are dead as we know it. These are all thoughts swirling through this bald head of mine, and I want to share with you guys. Speaking of bald head, we put out a poll. 28% say hair, 72% say no hair. Sold to the votes with no hair. Appreciate it. Oh, gosh. Got a little tired there for a second. Woo! So can Ethereum break through 4K here, guys? Yeah, it could, but if it's going to do it, it's got to do it fast. That's why the title says Ethereum could break $4,000 fast. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not here to give financial advice. I speculate on the market just like you. I trade on Blowfin. I trade on BitTinex. Check out the links in the description down below. I like Blowfin a little bit more. I like BitTinex too. Bitcoin dominance roaring back up. Bitcoin's coming up a little bit. We like that. All right, let's do a little bit of Q&A. Let me look at the chat, see what I missed. Okay, let's check it out. So Walker says 4,000 can't even break 3,900. Well, it needs to break 3,900 first. Scott's bald also, my guy. There you go. Scott also says he paused Mexico for 90 days. Did he do a tariff pause for Mexico as well for 90 days? That's incredible. Daryl Young says, sell it all, no rate cut. Yikes. I mean, I don't know. The biggest thing I'm scared of is the double top thing. But this is supposed to be that best moment for crypto. This is supposed to be that best moment coming up. It's supposed to be. Is that what we're going to see? Well, smash the like button if you want to see it. I do. Jackson Crawford says, did you see the algo roadmap? I did not. I like Algorand, though. Miami Boy says, when's the Pepe run? Well, hopefully Pepe found its low here. It did get to 401. I said it'd go to 401. It did get to 401. Not exactly down on my blue trend line, but honestly, my blue trend line was kind of missing the touch here. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so that's reasonable. I mean, look, if Ethereum does that break through 4,000 here, then Pepe is going to rip, roar, and soar. Pepe's the meme on Ethereum, guys. Again, not a financial advisor, but that's what I've historically seen. That's what I believe. Daryl Young says, would you consider it a failure if Ethereum's top is actually 4K and then back down to a bear market? I would consider it a failure. Yes. That's not what we wanted. We wanted something bigger than that. But I would also call it a great opportunity, I think. Honestly, if Ethereum hits 4K and tops out, I'm just going to go like Bitcoin maxi. Like if this is the end of the bull market, I'm still going to play around with alts, and I like talking about alts, and there's money to be made on alts. But like if Ethereum doesn't break 4K and Bitcoin topped out at 120, I'm going to become a Bitcoin maxi. You know, brother CN in the chat talking about Kronos memes. Is it pumping? Yeah, I mean, like, I can't argue against Bitcoin at all. I mean, I could definitely argue against altcoins these days, more so than ever before. And I mean, this is coming from an altcoin junkie, let me tell you. And, you know, it is such an interesting time because, like, I started this video, I think people are exhausted. Like, we're not feeling any kind of euphoria. Like, this is such a weird moment in this bull cycle. We're just stuck. We're just stuck. True. Juan says we're not at the end of the bull market. We're just getting started. We're definitely not just getting started, in my opinion. Again, we're closer to the end than we are to the beginning. Beginning of altcoin season, sure. But we've been in this run for 987 days, and we're still waiting on that altcoin season. Wes in the chat says, just moved all his BTC to cold storage. Very good, brother. Very, very good. Pepe is calling the top for XRP. I don't know. I mean, again, if Ethereum's breaking out, no. I mean, we're waiting on altcoin season. This can't be the end, right? I don't think so. I don't think it's the end. I mean, I'm worried about the double top, but that's what they want us to think. Maybe. Again, we got about 100 days left in this cycle, historically speaking. Maybe we go into some bigger bull market in 26. Maybe when we start getting those rate cuts in 26, when the president appoints a new Fed, that's the thing that I can kind of start to get excited about there. You know, what if we break through with the second top? Well, that'd be great. That'd be great. And that's what we should do if we're on track for a true bull market, like we've seen, at least on this 1,070-day rally that we've seen for the last two cycles. If we're going to stay on track to that in any capacity, and it doesn't have to, okay? It's kind of stupid, to be honest with you, to be stuck on the 1,070-day thing, but it's all I got. That's all I got to go off of. And I can look at this previous double top and I can look at that too. But like factually, news-wise, it has never been a more bullish time for crypto, which leads to maybe the end of the 4-year cycles as we know them. Maybe this is a 2,000-day rally. Maybe it's a 1,500-day rally. The bear markets and bull market, it says we know it, maybe those are over. That is possible. It's very possible. Or maybe we're going to rally. It's going to end in 100 days, just like we've all been waiting for. And then big accumulation zone. And we'll find it right here. Wherever this is. From 30 to 70K. It's almost like you could draw out like where the future, lows are going to be, right? It's just like, it's a little parabola, So I don't know. All right, guys. Well, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm looking for a super cycle. It'd be great. I'd love to see one. That's all I got, guys. I got a busy day. I got to get back to business. Smash like, subscribe to the channel. DCA, hold on, my friends. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the affiliates in the description down below. Turn on your notification bell for more updates. And I got content loaded up, ready to go, coming later today for you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, y'all.